Welcome people of the World Wide Web. So it's Cypher Sigma Toys here, and it is another pickup video, but this is a little bit different to my normal pickups. So first off is I have this box. Now I'll probably hold it back to show you how big this thing actually is. So this is kind of a little bit of a special one. So people who follow the channel, I've been going just over a year and a half now. The beginning of last year and the beginning of this year, I set out to having a top 10 items of basically what I was after, what I was trying to find. This year has been a very slow year. I think last year I completed a lot of stuff. This one I think I've got one or two of the items. This would be number 3, hopefully if it all turns up. Now I've seen a few of these. I've seen this go as cheap as $150 plus postage. I paid $165 plus fee, so it was we'll call it $171. So a lot of money. But this is kind of completing a set that I'm happy with. There are a few of figures that look nice, but just too expensive or they don't come. So this is a product from NECA. So it's not a gargoyle, if anybody is going to go down this route. So this is, I believe, the special edition that came out. I think it might be a Comic-Con exclusive. It's a pack of 4 figures. Maybe starting to get in kind of inkling of what this is. Now, I don't think I'll get across. I think it was almost 200 quid when it came out, so I don't think I've done that badly. Now, I've seen the 2 packs, and I know some of the 2 packs in America are going really cheap, but I've only found one that was still 50 odd quid. The other one I've seen online or something, they're talking almost 100, so I don't really, and I'm only seeing 2 of the figures, not the other 2 I need, so it's always a pain of, yeah, I find one cheap, but I could have to pay. My friend is going to America next month, so she did offer to look out for it, but she doesn't have to look out for now. So very, very well packaged, and you've kind of seen it. So let me just move this box out of the way. So yes, this is the special edition of the complete NECA Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie 3. Now, a lot of people aren't the biggest fans of this movie. Now, I am a big fan of this movie. I grew up, I had seen the movies, but this is kind of the first one I had on VHS. You know, I was brought up from a family that, or say like my birth dad wasn't around when I was younger. I have a stepdad now, or I class him as my dad. And we never had too much stuff, and this was one of the VHSs I did come across, and I used to watch it a lot, as kids do. So I think this is why I have fond memories of this. Like I say, a lot of people hate it, but I really like it. Never thought I would get a chance to own this. As I say, I thought it would be 2 parts. So I have to write. So there we have the front, and then we have the side, kind of a bit like the cassette. The back, which kind of details, I'll move it a little bit forward, so if you want to read the writing on it, there are the figures, and then again the same. So this has a slip cover on it, so we shall slide it off. Now I don't think these have been displayed. I think what the guy told me. So there we have them, Leonardo, Donatello, Michelangelo and Raphael in their glory. Obviously they come with at least 3 of the transportation times. So anybody who hasn't seen this, these staffs link and they send people back in time. You have the masks. So no, it hasn't been opened, so I'm going to open it. As careful as I can. So yeah, so anybody who looks on the back, there you go, you have them in their kind of samurai gear, then obviously just kind of losing when they're in a village, and then kind of so you can take the items on and off. I probably will leave them more or less as they are. So first off, what a great back in that is, so I may have to put this up somewhere. So anybody knows, this is a picture that is taken from an old scroll that they find in it that believe it depicts the turtles. So that is actually quite a nice little piece that they have. Then it comes in 2 sections. So again, I have to separate them. So here we have is the back bit. So you have standardized heads for all 4 turtles. You have 2 sabers. Then you have Leo's normal swords, Donatello's staff, Mikey's nunchucks. Here it's really hard to see, sorry, and then Raphael's size, and then you have what? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 hands, and then you have the capes that come with them. There should be 4 in here. And then yeah, here is the figures close up, if I can get into it. There you go. So you can see Raph at the bottom and Michelangelo. And then we move down to my favourite Leonardo and then Donatello. So yeah, I'll throw up some pictures and stuff to show you what they look like out of the packaging. But yeah, an absolutely amazing addition to have. As I say, it's a lot of money. It's one of my 10 things that I wanted. It came out, I think, the end of last year. And I wasn't able to buy it, so I'm glad I have the time and money. Well, use a little bit of my savings, but I'll replace that when I get paid at the end of the week, so it's not too much financial. But yeah, that has been... And with a dodgy cut, we are back. So yes, I was going to cut the video there, but I've actually got the figures out, so we're going to actually take a look at them. So we'll go through them one by one. So Raphael, so you have to... Okay, first things first. These can be a little bit of a pain in the backside. So you will see here, you can remove the headbands. I will try and do it on Raph. It's quite a long peg, so it's a bit of a pain. You can kind of see there's started to be a gap there. So you remove that, and that's how you get these masks on. I did, because I'm putting them all the masks, I didn't decide to change the faces. Raph, he is quite good. One thing you do notice, and it's probably not, if you can see here, he has a little scar on the side of his face, which I thought was really a nice thing for Raph to have. But where their bandana goes into the back, apologies for putting there, you will see on the back of the helmet, that's where it clips into the hat. And I don't know if it's with the masks as well, or just the robe and everything. It sits there, but it's not the greatest. I have seen videos I've mentioned about it, so we're gonna just do a review. Obviously they all have capes. You will know Leonardo's one because he has 5 marks on it. I will explain that otherwise. And then obviously has the size. Notice all the weapons seem fairly loose in the hands. They still hold and don't really go, as long as you don't throw them around too much, they're not too bad. But yeah, obviously if you rest it on this, there is obviously Raphael. Exact prime example, it doesn't want to pop on. Maybe there is a way to I mean, it was really stuck on there when I got it, and I don't know why it doesn't fall, but obviously there is Raphael. So we go Michelangelo. Demonstrate again. Mask exactly. It all follows the same. Obviously, there are some slight variations to the whiskers and stuffing on these face masks. Mike has probably the worst holding weapons. Obviously, they are. Let's bring that. So if you show you the nunchuck stats, they are very nice, sculpted little details on it. But yeah, even if you put both bits, you see how easy that was to fall out. That is going to be a pain going forwards. But let's give you, there's Mikey. Obviously there is a little wire within these cloths so you can twist it. So when I do pose them on my shelf, I do have a NECA setup, but I have the collection of old figures on another shelf, and I'm tempted to put them with that, so we have new and old rather than keep the whole NECA line. I mean, it'd be cool to have all the NECA line together, but I've got some Super 7 that will go up there, and because it's a mixture. So here we have Leonardo. I've had him holding a staff just because he has his holders for his swords, which is really cool. So there's his 2 swords that he has, obviously one in his back. What I mentioned about the holes, you'll see it's a bit of a mess at the back to have it around his holder. It would be nice if there was just a hole and you could put this through, but it is what it is. I'm not going to necessarily quibble at that. Obviously his helmet does actually hold on, very reliable, probably one of the only 4, but I still think he is quite cool. And I say that you get 3 different staffs. I've just kept this one because I thought it was a little cool. It does have little break points in there, you can see it, but I think that's the one that they use within the movie. Oh, and finally, as all of them pops off, it is Donatello. With Donatello's, I've got his bandana sticking very slightly out. That does make it a little bit more better. Obviously, he's holding his bow staff. He holds it quite well, maybe because of my arm positioning. But very, very cool, as I said. Very lucky to have these figures in the collection. So you will see one picture of all of them together like I showed earlier, but I thought it was best to kind of highlight them all together. Very, very nice. Glad to have these figures in the collection. And for me, NECA's more or less done. There are the odd, like Danny, who's special edition. I'm not paying like 70 quid for it. And Kino, you can kind of get, and I think they're bringing out Shredder's assistant from the first one that I may look to get. But I mean, for me, this is done. I have the good Turtles from 1. I have all the bad guys from 2, and then obviously the samurai from 3. So for me, I'm happy. That is everything for my NECA Turtle collection as it is. Obviously I have Gargoyles and everything else from NECA, so that's probably where my focus will be. But that has been my little pickup. Hope you enjoyed this video. Do you like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3 movie or the figures? Let me know in the comments down below, and I shall see you in the next one.